and the would-be recipients of the awards. Of course, the indefatigable teachers of Whitesands, in their array there, the teachers and the formators who play a very important role. We also welcome you, and of course the friends of Whitesands School, and finally the reason for today, the reason for the season, these noble young men that are seated right in front of us today. There are about 82 graduates. Can we please give them a round of applause? I must not forget our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Peter Bankole, who is a Deputy Vice Chancellor at me of the Pan-Atlantic University. You are recognized, Dr. Bankole. And looking directly and sitting in front of me is the ageless Professor Albert Allos. Professor Allos deserves all the accolades for what he is doing. For 48 years in Nigeria, teaching and forming Nigerian citizens. Professor Allos is a Nigerian citizen. Please, for that, he deserves another round. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So today is a most important day in the calendar of the school for the year. It's a day that we are sending forth our noble ambassadors, these excellent ambassadors, the graduation day of our SS3 students, and a day to across various classes who have distinguished themselves not just in the academic work, but in the other areas, the things that make it all sense of responsibility. I've had 4 of my sons pass through Whitesands. Thank you, and they're all doing excellently well. So, but what values am I referring to? I want to say, and I want that to be on record, that the most critical value that Whitesands puts into these young men is that of personal formation. That is an aggregation of several values, not just the academic prowess or the academic program. There's a very, very strong tutorial system in place. You have the extra and co-curricula. I'm truly proud of you that you stayed the course, and today you are doing us proud. Not just your families, but we will see how you're going to go ahead, launch into the deep, which has to do with the motto of your school, and show that what you have got from this school, the teaching, the friendships you've made, in fact, everything is for unforgettable memory of your time in this school. So go forth and win with dignity, with discipline, with a good character, integrity, resilience, love, faith, and of course the fear of God. We believe in you. We really do believe in you. And I'm still repeating that we're going to look forward to the many ways you're going to make your impact. And I share a little secret with you, not because Dr. Bankole is here, or because Professor Allos is here, but I hear a little bird told me there's a very, very good university in Nigeria. It's called the Pan-Atlantic University. Please, you can whisper it to your friends and to your families. And with these words, please permit me to declare this event open. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yes, for opening remarks by the chairman of this wonderful occasion, Dr. Chuka Abu, S-A-N. A round of applause for him again. Thank you very much, sir. At this point, I will like to introduce the members of the high table. And today we have the high table close to the podium, and then we have several high tables right here, just in front. Okay, so, okay, very well. So first I'll start with the members of the Ikota Education Foundation Board of Trustees. Yes, chairman for the day. The first on my list as the chairman for Ikota Education Board of Trustees, Mr. Chuka Abu, S-A-N. Thank you, sir, for making all the time to join us. Also, on that team is Dr. Darlington Agolo. A round of applause. You're welcome, sir. Okay, so next I'd like to mention the members of the IEF Executive Council who are present here. First, I'd like to start by mentioning our non-executive director, the person of Professor Albert Alos. You're welcome, sir. Very well. Okay, so I think the other members will be joining us much later. And of course, not to forget the management of this prestigious school. Yes, I say it with my full chest and I really mean it. Yes. First, I'd like to start by mentioning the principal of this prestigious school. Please a round of applause for Dr. Emeka Enemo. Next, I'd like to ask that you join me in also welcoming Nuna Ezugu. In that same breath, I would like to also mention the Vice Principal, Senior School, Mr. Herbert Chukwu. Also on that table, we have the Head of Administration, Mr. Fred Waizu. I think I've almost exhausted that table, so let me come to this side, right? Okay, so I also have, not seated there, but right here, the HR, the person of Kingsley David Adaibe. And yes, the gentleman seated right next to him is the head of formation, Andrew Eze. To my very far right, we have our visiting member who graduated from our sister school abroad. And it's worth mentioning that 2 years ago, he was seated like this somewhere, right? With the same sash and the blazers and all. Yes, I'm talking about no other person than Matthew Fodo. He graduated from our sister school, La Faga, and he has decided to come join us today to grace our occasion. Thank you very much for finding time to join us. Okay, yes, I've recognized the members of the high table, and I dare say that on this side of the divide, we have very, very, very high tables. But before we get there, I'd like us to put our hands together for the teaching staff of Whitesands School, the persons who have been part of this journey for the past 6 years. We have both the teachers from the junior school and the senior school. Thank you very much. And yes, I don't know, there's something about looking at this side of the divide. I just see parents who are just breathing that sigh of relief And I can see very, very proud parents. Thank you for all the sacrifices, and thank you for investing in the futures of these boys. Please, a round of applause for our honorable parents. Thank you very much. As the graduating class might think, we've let them out, and we are not. This is no longer an inclusive event. Don't worry, your 5 seconds of fame will come shortly. Thank you very much. I'll be back shortly.
The graduation and prize giving ceremony for the 2025 set of our graduates. Now, the next item on the program is the introduction of the graduates. And as I call them one after the other, they should step forward, move to the podium. But before that, I would like to crave the indulgence of the principal of Whitesands School, Dr. Emeka Enomo, to please stand and come forward. Let's clap. The first name here is Abel David Somtochukwu. Adebayo Mubarak Olukayode. Adebayo Folaji. Adedeji Olatunde Orija. Adeleye Folarin Daniel. Adeleye Ademilade. Adeosun Olaolu Francis. Adeoye John Paul. Afuba Paul Murphy Kashiside. Ajayi Ifeanyi Chukwu. Ajayi Morakinyo Aderiniola. Ajeki Oluwadarasimi Feyi Sope.
Ahabwe Osemudiame Justin. Akinze Ethan Aberiose.
Akinola Obaoluwafemi Samuel.
Abban Francis Elisha. Akubwe Kenechukwu Jason. Amos Spender Museta Luke. Anyanwu Antonio Chijioke.
Aoko Ayoluwabamikale Solomon.
Amon Ethan Efaevo. Oshekauno Ikenna Daniel. Azekwo Peter Nkenho. Azubike Tobina Gerald.
Banjo Oluwafiayo Konla Israel.
Bosua Samuel.
Dare Demola Babafemi. David Ashiru Araulua. Egunjobi Hamilton Gbemisola. Ẹlẹ́ṣin ńlá Tóbilọ́ba.
Emipo Reginald Enoho. Osejoyo Ogenekome. Esiri Abasiakara. Eze Chizitelu. Frank Durubo Diego Kenechukwu. Ibekwe Enukora Onyebikake. Ifeanyi Okafor Nnamdi Godwin. Kentebe Ebitimi George.
Kópolúyì Tèmítáyọ̀ Jésù ni tèmi.
Madubuko Obuneme Clinton. Maduekwe Precious Chinonso.
Mátọ̀mí Olúwanífẹ́mi.
Maxwell Bright Chisom. Moses Okorie Marvelous. Nnadi Raymond Uzoma. Nnadi Fimba Chinemelum. Nwafọ Chukwuezugbo Michael. Nweze Charles Obiora. Nwobi Sonkene Benedict. Nwoye Kenechukwu Henry. Obiago Udochukwu.
Oduola Oluwatomiwa Kolawole.
Ofo Jesmaria Oluchukwu. Ogunnayo Elvis Chidubem. Okafo Kenechukwu Kelvin. Okocha Oje Anthony Chiagoziem. Okonkwo Kansuchukwu Charles. Okoye Chukwuemeka Emmanuel. Oba Ositadimma Augustine.
Okungboa Zion Oluwaseyi. Olusoya Christian. Ọmọlọ́dún Nathan.
Honor Chinonso Jeremy. Onyekwere Uchechukwu Michael. Onya Bunyechi Chidimeje. Okpara Sontochukwu Francis.
Benjamin Ayomosele. Ṣàngótádé Olúwaṣeun Fọláṣayọ̀.
Shock Ian Merritt. Spencer Obiano Alex Kairo Adochukwu. Obani Michael. Ubani Nelson. Udo Dominic Ina. Uduje Olisanene Xavier. Ukeni Chibazorem Inyelua. Omabia Chidima Christopher. Ule Chidera Raphael. Oladileke Chizaram. Mrs. Oshekime George. Proud parents.
Well, the chairman, the board of trustees, Dr. Chuka Abu, also the chairman of this occasion, the distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Peter Abamkole, who is also the DVC admin of the Pan-Atlantic University. Esteemed parents, our dedicated staff, alumni who are here, guests, friends, students, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly congratulate you all and sincerely thank you for being here with us today. I thank especially the parents who are always supportive, and they have been exceptionally so in the last 1 or 2 years. It's been quite noticeable. My speech, I hope, will not last too long. I don't want it to last long, but there are truly many things to say. There are many things to say. So I'm going to try my best to keep it short to some extent. Anyway, first and foremost, I give thanks to God who has made all these things possible. For the gift of Whitesands School. Because Whitesands is a great instrument, really, for the education of students, of children, in this case of boys. It's a great honor, a great privilege to be able to be part of the history of Whitesands School. I congratulate the graduates, our SS3 boys, very good boys, for finishing your secondary school career with us. I also congratulate the prize awardees, because not only the SS3 boys that are here, there are other students who are here too, waiting to receive their awards, and then others, the rest of the students who are also around. So I thank parents, teachers, students, for the collaboration that has enabled us to complete one more year. Like I said, it's been very eventful, but let me see if I can just speak to some of the highlights of this year. You know, we began the year with a bit of trouble, bit of a downside, but the parents, a little bit about academics. Our students continue to do well academically. And of course, we remain committed to strengthening the academic culture in the school. It's an ongoing challenge. But in the recent UTME exam outcome, 70 boys from our school took the JAMB exam. And out of those 70 boys, 28, representing 40%, scored 300 and above. With Obumneme Madebuko achieving 368, which is the highest score we have received so far. The rest of the students, more than 50%, scored between 250 and 299. So that's also, I think, commendable. Now, we anticipate strong WAEC results as well, going by the pattern of the results we have seen so far. But we pray and hope that things work out for the best. The junior secondary school average score for this current session that just ended was 74.3%, slightly down from the 74.5 last year, but really the same. But the senior school average rose from 68.5% to 69.2%. And so the average is over 70% for the entire school. On co-curricular activities, we had a family day celebration in December last year, which was, as usual, very well supported by parents. The new feature there was the Whitesands chorale group, which entertained very well. I think we have to give them a round of applause. They did so well on that day. Did so well. On infrastructure development, this year saw substantial infrastructure upgrades. Of course, thanks to the generosity of Whitesands families. We're able to install 20 smart boards in the classrooms. In all the classrooms, we have now that are enjoying smart boards. Donated also, solar power was donated by Cottage Foundation, owns the school. So it donated financed the solar power. And so now we have much reduced electricity costs as a result of that. We also have surveillance cameras that have been installed, again, thanks to a parent. IEF is also helping to give a facelift to the entire school, particularly the classrooms where the ceiling boards at the end of this. By the beginning of next session, probably you'll be able to see that all the washrooms have been completely renewed. On staffing, school staffing, well, the Management Council of Whitesands School was recently reconstituted, so there are some new members introduced, the Human Resource Manager and the Director of Formation. And then we bid farewell to Father Elo Asogwa, who moved to Pan Atlantic University, replaced by Father Pedro Okafor. On student leadership and responsibility, our students have continued to show remarkable initiative. JS2A students, for example, recently honored their janitor, Mr. Augustine. I thought I should mention that because it's very important that they are appreciative of the work done by janitors. Mr. Augustine. It was really an inspiring act of gratitude. Pay Cole and donated 1 million on behalf of the rest of the students who contributed money to that. We continue to do well in sports, and we also received some sponsorship from parents. For example, Mr. Former sponsored the Isabi Play badminton competition. It was very, very well contested. And then inter-house athletics also was very well organized. Unfortunately, the only downside was that Mrs. Eke had an injury, which she's still recovering from now because of some complication as a result of that. We continue to pray for her full recovery. Let me specifically mention parents' support. I already talked about 20 smart boards were donated anonymously by some families and also the air conditioners. But we also have a very major donation because as part of our 20th anniversary project, we are embarking on the construction of a grotto in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary, which will be located just next to the gazebo outside there. And we launched the fundraising on the 28th of July this month. And on that day, one ex-parent of Whitesands, Mr. Elias Ibenakenzwa, undertook to finance the entire project to the tune of 35 million naira. So we're extremely grateful, for this gesture on his part. Mr. Elias Benakenzo is also the MD of Globus Bank. The alumni continue to engage with us. They continue to be very supportive. I want to mention in particular Mr. Anthony Azeko, who has always been very supportive of us. Mr. Anthony Azeko is an internationally acclaimed artist, digital artist. And he recently donated a sculpture, which you can see outside, next to where they have the banner there. So he donated it to the school. So we thank you for his kind gesture. Inter-school competitions, we encourage the boys to go out and compete because it's a way of testing, their knowledge and skills. And so this year, we participated in the Fidelity Bank Read to Lead essay competition, represented by Christian Olusoya, who placed in the top 5. And then in the Society for Petroleum Engineers competition also, we have Abim Derrick and Jebode Oluwasheun. They came 2nd and 5th respectively. Last year we came 1st. For this year we were toppled by Ikorodu Senior High School. Now, we also had the Hembridge Study Center Science Challenge, which took place I think it ended last month. And there we came 1st. After beating 4 schools, the last school we beat was St. Finbar's. It was a grueling competition. Sometimes it lasted up to 6 hours before the winner emerged. So you can imagine our boys, there for 6 hours, fighting. It was a great, We also runner-ups in the Codros Debates competition, where our students demonstrated critical thinking and eloquence. We also participated in a robotics competition last year. It was in July last year, and our boys came 2nd in the Makers group in Senegal. And then that same team is right now out there in Senegal competing. So they're not here today because they are in Senegal. So wish them the best. Finally, let me talk about the 25th anniversary celebration. On July 28th, like I said, we unveiled the 25th anniversary logo and also the Grotto project. But the main celebration begins in October 2 precisely, to be followed by a long series of activities throughout up to October 1 of the following year. So it's a whole year of celebration at different points during the year. One of the things we're going to have is a gala night in honor of our benefactors, community service days by year groups, a special family day, and then alumni celebration, and so on. Finally, a few words to the graduates, because I cannot leave this place without saying a few things to you. My dear students, you are immensely talented. There's no doubt about it. I'm not flattering you, it is the truth. You are very talented. Now, unlike your colleagues in the boarding school, you have faced the daily rigors of Lagos life, the traffic, sometimes intense heat, downpours, the streets. I've been on the streets. Now, so I expect you to weather the storm wherever you go, whatever challenge you face. As you move into tertiary institutions, some of you will study here in Nigeria, some will go abroad, as always. Remember, you will be freshers, if you know what I mean. You will be freshers. Right now, you're the most senior, but when you get to a new stage of tertiary, you will be freshers. You'll be the youngest ones. And it's like you begin to learn again in a different environment. You will face also the changing world of where technology, particularly artificial intelligence, is reshaping how we live and how we learn. Now, through all this, I would say, hold fast. Hold fast to the values we have instilled in you, both us as a school and the parents. more importantly, the courage to be responsible, the commitment to contribute meaningfully, and the strength to stand by the truth always. Also, as I often say, be patriotic. Be patriotic. Love your country and appreciate its fundamental values, its fundamental goodness, and be ready to help to improve it. Don't be one of those who complain. Be among those who find solutions to the problems of the country. Help to reshape it. Help to reshape your country. And on that note, let me leave with you the words of St. Josemaria, the founder of Opus Dei, who also inspired setting up of this school, Whitesands, and many other schools all over the world. In the book that he wrote, the most important, or rather the most popular book, I should say, The Way, he wrote, "Do not let your life be sterile, be useful, blaze a trail. Shine forth with the light of your faith and of your love." If you're looking for a compass for your life's journey, look no further. That advice should be your guiding light. Congratulations once again to all of you, and to the awardees too, and to the parents who are here also for graduating once more, or graduating your children from Whitesands School. I congratulate especially those parents who have been with us so many times already. There are some parents here who have been with us, who have had like 4 children that have graduated from Whitesands. So I thank you all for believing in us, for trusting us. God bless you all.
The address by the principal, Whitesands School. Thank you very much. Yes, like I said, we're here because of our individual and collective stories. That is what has brought us here. And while listening to him, you could just tell that the school has come a long way. And like they say, growth is constant. And in this case, it's been positive growth for the school. Like I mentioned earlier, come October, this school will be 25 years. That being said, it is a big aspect of the schooling. Yes, here at Whitesands School, we thrive at so many things. And our parents know what I mean, right? Because sometimes we come with all the sweaty shirts and all. Okay, that being said, without much ado, it is time to recognize the boys who have shown themselves to be exceptional. We will be giving out 18 awards for 18 subjects. I know you're thinking, would it be my son? Well, we're about to find out.
Now we're going to start with the best student in English language for the graduating set.
Okay, a little omission. Before we do that, I wouldn't be handing out the awards, so I would like to ask a member of the Board of Trustees, IEF, in the person of Mr. Babington Akolo, to do us the honors this morning. Thank you very much, sir.
Adebayo Folaji. Literature in English goes to Olusoya Christian. Olusoya is Olusoya Christian is just he didn't just clinch that award. He has won award outside the school. He's a very creative writer.
Next, we have visual arts. A round of applause for Oluwaseun Shangokade. Just to mention that in the school's first exhibition last year, we had works from this young man featured in that exhibition, and I can tell you he is a rising talent, and we're proud to have him in Whitesands.
The next award is for technical drawing, and the award goes to Ofo Jose Maria.
See those timed steps with such precision, right? To do TD, you need precision, right? Exactly. Next, we have Christian Religious Studies. Please a round of applause for Ifeanyi Chukwu Ajayi. And just to mention that not only did he back that, he is also the best in French.
The next subject awards goes to Uduje Olisane, Best in Government. He also doubles as the best in Geography.
Just to mention that he is the outgoing senior prefect. And I'm thinking, are we sure that years to come, that young man will not be vying for a political seat, given that he's the best in government and is the outgoing senior prefect? Round of applause for him again.
The next award for financial accounting. One thing that distinguished this young man was the fact that the ICANN representative for this district came around and they did a competition. The guy emerged best amongst the lot. And now he has shown it again that he's actually and truly the best in financial accounting. And this goes to Ajeki Ipe Oluwadarasimi.
Okay. Just a switch of protocol. I'd like to call the student first, then I'll mention, because not only is he going with just one, he's going with. Can you take a wild guess? Okay, your guess is as good as mine. We'll find out. Very well. So I'd like to ask that we put our hands together for Fimba Nnoli. Okay, this young man has clinched the highest score in mathematics. Aha, I was expecting that. Especially for those of us who look at mathematics like some plague, right? Okay, and not only mathematics, also for the sciences. Physics. And you guessed two, right? Or what did you guess? Well, a third one. Civic education. Okay, well, that was 3. Here at Whitesands schools, you need to see the boys after the CA when the broadsheet is pasted on the notice board. Academic matters here is not small business. We are highly competitive. In class and outside the classroom. If you ever had any time to come for inter-house sports, you would see that, man, these boys really have what it takes to be Olympic champions. And here we're celebrating the academic aspect of their lives. The next student we're about to call has clenched, not 1. Obviously, it should be more than 3, right? Yeah, 4. Okay, 5. Oh, so sir, 6 awards for the next recipient. Just to hear a little about the young man in question.
Maybe one thing my colleague failed to add to that was the fact that Nigeria almost happened to this young man. When the JAMB result was released, they said he scored 160 something. And of course, all his colleagues said this is not possible. And even the school said it can't be. And along the line, it was God intervened. I'll say that. And of course, he clinched 368. He's among the top scorers. And is the top scorer at Whitesands School. And this award goes to no other person. I call him Obums, Obuneme Madubuko.
Economics, chemistry, biology, agricultural science. That makes me to say, we shock you. Okay, and then, last but not the least, for the mathematics. I think we need more hands. Unfortunately, the young man has just a pair of arms, but I think he'll manage. A round of applause once again for Obuneme. Dr. Pennington Apollo for doing those honors. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Next.
This is an Israelite in whom there's no guile. And it's not just about academics. It's good academically, no doubt about that. But if you have to punish this young man, the whole class must be punished. And my colleague can attest that he has character to the core. And it was not because he clinched 6 awards that made him the valedictorian. It's the fact that character is added to it. He's serviceable. He's the assistant senior prefect of the school. And that is the person of Obuneme Madubuko, the valedictorian. Let's rise to appreciate him. Let's rise.
It's an innovation for the valedictorian. Obuneme Madubuko. very much for doing the honors. We can now take our seats.
The chairman of this occasion, our distinguished guest speaker, members of the IF Board of Trustees, our beloved principal and other members of Management Council, beloved teachers and staffs, lecturers, I feel a flood of emotions, honor, excitement, and gratitude. Gratitude first and foremost to my parents, the reason I am here today. Your sacrifices, prayers, discipline belong to me. Now, giving this speech honestly feels unreal. After 6 long, unpredictable, unforgettable years, we've made it. 6 years of growing, learning, stressing, laughing, failing, and succeeding, and somehow still smiling. Today isn't just the end of a chapter, it's the beginning of something much bigger. I vividly remember when we walked in as GS1 students in oversized blazers and shoes. And now look at us, taller than most of our teachers, I guess. Junior school felt like a breeze. I'll play half the day, study a few hours before exams, and do well enough to feel like a genius. One of my favorites was the legendary 4 post games that we had at the gazebo. The teacher showed up, we vanished, running in every direction in order to escape. But senior school was a whole different ball game. Suddenly there were deadlines, tests, assignments, and there were even teachers who didn't care if you were tired. They were going to stretch you anyway. Yet, with all the pressure, some of us made time for after-school training, late-night games, and time to talk to girls. And yet, some of us still pass, and that's multitasking at its finest. I can't stand here today without mentioning a few people who helped me shape this journey. First, we have Reginald, from GS1 to SS3. He's been more than a classmate, he's been a brother. We've shared laughter, failures, secrets, and victories. Because of his obsession for online games, he mentored me into becoming better when I was really bad at it. But more than that, he was my study partner, the kind who made long hours of study feel like 10 minutes. I really enjoyed it. He pushed me to do better, and I'm proud we've made it here together. And there's Kene. If you saw me in school, chances are like he's somewhere around me or right beside me. I also thank Fimba for being my good competitor for the top position in our set. I owe a huge part of my success to our incredible teachers. They were not just teachers, they helped me to become who I am today. We have Mr. Yamu, my father mathematics teacher, and part-time physics teacher. You didn't just teach me formulas, you taught me discipline. You treated me like your only student. And your 6 a.m. lessons, despite not being my lesson teacher or private teacher, I prove of your commitment to my success. In fact, if I didn't have any question, you were really mad at me and angry. Mr. Etim, thank you for pushing me beyond my limits. You didn't just encourage me to study, you forced me to study. And though I grumbled at the time, I now realize it made me a better person and a more disciplined version of myself. Mr. Leki and Mr. Lanre Alimi, the kings of classwork. I'm not sure I'll ever forget the back-to-back tests I had, and I'm so glad I finally escaped it forever. Mr. Koledoye, my former TIC, a man whose mood could change like the weather. 1 minute, we'll be laughing, and the next minute, you pick up your slippers throw at someone. And of course, Mr. Andrew, my favorite junior school teacher. You weren't just a teacher, you were a friend with packs of sweets in my GS1 days. Those little treats made my early school days a lot sweeter, literally and emotionally. But more than that, you were the first person who predicted as far back as GS1 and again in my SS1 that if I finish in Whitesands School, I will finish as the valedictorian of this set. Those simple comments really stuck with me, and they motivated me more than you probably realized. To all our teachers and school staffs, I say thank you. You didn't just prepare us for exams, you prepared us for life. You were mentors, disciplinarians, motivators, and sometimes comedians. And we say thank you. To the class of 2025, what a ride it's been. We've grown emotionally, mentally, and physically. We survived the impossible group projects and those unexpected pop tests that teachers give us from time to time. We've cried, laughed, failed, and succeeded. Sometimes all in the same week. But through it all, we become a family. Let's not say goodbye. Let's say thank you to ourselves, to our teachers, and to Whitesands. So to the class of 2025, we came, we saw, we played, we studied, and we conquered. Congratulations to us all. The journey was worth it. Thank you very much.
So we'll start with the JS1 class. Third best student overall. Please a round of applause for Amanosi Ikebu. And just in second place, we have Chukwuebuka Okoli. Second best student for the JS1 year group. And of course, Julius Ejinkone, the best student in JS1. Here at Whitesands, we do not only reward academic excellence, we also reward good behavior. The best behaved student for that year group is Chukwuebuka Okoli, who of course doubles as the second best student in that same year group. Okay, we'll give you some time. He has made the detour the other way. So Chukwuebuka, please, would like to ask you back on stage. Entrepreneur. You're a sportsman, I think you should double up. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, just a minor observation for reference purposes. Just to mention that for those of you who will be receiving awards, do well to place the certificate in front of the award, right? So we want to see the name. So when the pictures are taken, your name is written in bold, right? And it's all shiny. Okay, next we move on to the JS2 year group. Third best overall student. A round of applause for Nabil Husseini. Okay, second best overall for the set, Abdulhamid Tolani. The best student overall also doubles as the best behaved student. A round of applause for Tariq Oseni. Okay, we'll quickly move to the next year group, JS3. Third best student, Soto Chukwu Mwoga. Mwoga, just a moment. Sorry, Mwoga. Sonto, just a moment. Thanks for calling my attention to that. I did omit the Sportsman Award. The Sportsman Award for JS2 goes to Kamsi Udoji. Just to mention that for this category, the results are collated from the inter-house sports preceding this event. So the student that bags the most medals for the year group ends that position. Yes, back to JS3. Okay, so you may continue in that presentation. A round of applause once again for Sonto Chukwumoga, the third student overall for that set. And the second best student, Chidalu Azubike. The best student for that set in the academic realms is Arnold Akpofire. The best student for the set is Oluwasegun Abu. I don't think he's around. Okay, then the Sportsman Award for that set goes to no other than Anthony Eke. And with that, we've come to the end of the awards for the junior school.
Start my truck and so jump in. Here we go together. Nice cool breeze with big palm trees. I tell you, life don't get.
Okay, right on the stage is Anthony Eke, the best sportsman. And yes, the young man who just climbed the stage and who would make another entry again. There's a round of applause for Oluwasegun Abu, the best behaved student, JS3.
Here we go together. Nice cool breeze with big palm trees. I tell you, life don't get no better. Talking about hey now, hey now, I go, I need. Chucking more fina, I need. Chucking more fina,
And with that, we'll close the curtains on the awards for the junior school. Thank you very much, Mr. Uchene Zugu. And to help us with the next segment for the senior school, I'd like to invite okay, just a moment.
Light a fire. Your bestie says you want parties, so can we make this place go higher? Talking about hey now, hey now, I go, I need. Chucking more fina, I need. Chucking more fina,
Let me take it from here. Salaman girl straight up, right roots in mama.
In case you're just joining us, it's the graduation and awards ceremony for the graduating class 2025 here at Whitesands School. And we're here to celebrate excellence, dedication, hard work, passion for learning, and all the goodwill that comes with it. And of course, to celebrate our individual and collective victories. When I was introducing the members on the high table, I did omit a name. And now, I will do the honors of introducing our guest speaker for today. He's the only person who I haven't mentioned on that table over there. And I would do that, would applaud him, and while he takes the podium, I would take a brief citation about him. Please, I'd like to ask us all to join me, put up a sounding round of applause for our guest speaker, Dr. Peter Bankole. Yes, Dr. Peter Bankole is currently the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration at the Pan Atlantic University. And prior to that appointment, in June 2024, he served as the Chief Operating Officer at the same university. Mr. Peter pioneered the Enterprise Development Center, EDC, of the Pan-Atlantic University in January 2003. And that same institution is now one of the top enterprise development centers in Africa. He was trained as a mechanical engineer in the United Kingdom with an MBA from IASC Business School in Spain. And he also doubles as an alumnus for Lagos Business School, where he underwent the Chief Executive Program. His 40 years of cognitive experience spans both public and private sectors, which would include, but not limited to, the oil industry, water supply, and education. He obtained his PhD in entrepreneurship and innovation at the International School of Management in Paris and consults widely in sub-Saharan Africa on entrepreneurship, development, and practice. Mr. Peter is a fellow of the Corporate Governance Society of Nigeria and a member of the Chartered Institute of Directors. He currently chairs the Board of Education Collaborative, West Africa Hub, Nigeria Climate Innovation Center, International Breweries Foundation, and Global Entrepreneurship Network, Nigeria. He is an independent, non-executive director of Zenith Bank and a member of IIT Governing Council and Lagos State Research and Innovation Council, amongst others. His current book, Built by Enterprise, is a culmination of 2 decades of developing entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Distinguished guests, parents, and all invited guests, please join me as I make welcome once again our guest speaker for today, Dr. Bam Peter Bam Colin.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, the chairman, Dr. Chukabu, SAN. Let me greet first my teacher, my mentor, and indeed, the brain behind Whitesands. I feel jealous today that you hardly come for our graduation anymore at the university, but here you are, sitting and smiling. Professor Albert Balogun Alos. I named him Balogun because he has fought and conquered many battles, and Whitesands happens to be one of them. In case you don't know, he has established similar institutions in the East, apart from Lagos Business School and Pan-Atlantic University. So, Prof, I greet you. My colleague, Dr. Darlington Agolo, the principal of Whitesands School, Dr. Emeka Enemo, when he asked me to do this, I'm sure he was not sure that I will come. But for me, there are many reasons why it is important to drop every other thing and be here. In fact, I told him that there's a program in Abeokuta that I'm supposed to be at 10 o'clock this morning. But I had to beg the bishop that I will be here for many reasons. To the management and staff of Whitesands School, especially the faculty, although they say teachers' rewards are in heaven, that these live to see their students thrive. And for me, it is because you have been part of that journey for them. So I want to especially thank you. Say a few things later, but let me congratulate you. You have been here, you have seen, and like the valedictorian said, you have conquered. But you have only conquered the first stage. You know, when you play those online games, you move this. I want to specially commend you. It's not easy. Not with the way things are going these days in terms of pricing of everything. You have endured, and I want to really thank you for supporting Whitesands and indeed for sending your boys here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, maybe in the last 16 years or so, although I passed through here, my son was admitted into Whitesands some 20 years ago. And indeed, that laid the foundation for a purposeful life for him. Today, after completing his master's in petroleum geoscience, he is now transitioned into being a sustainability expert. He used to be a geologist. He's based in London, but he works across the world. This is the kind of foundation that Whitesands has given you in your journey, especially to the world of work. Like a caterpillar that has just transformed into a lovely butterfly, it is important to say a few words before you fly away. I have been asked to speak on the spirit of enterprise and innovation in surviving and thriving in today's workplace. This, of course, like you have heard, is a core area for me in the last several decades. Entrepreneurship is my calling, and I pioneered the Enterprise Development Center at the university 23 years ago. I have the pleasure of working with our students from undergraduates to master's level. And one thing I can say without a doubt is how students with entrepreneurial mindsets thrives wherever they find themselves. They develop skills that are very critical to thriving anywhere they are, especially in the workplace. And such skills include critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaboration, resilience, perseverance, adaptability, and flexibility, to mention but a few. Innovation, on the other hand, turns you into an explorer, constantly looking for ways of making things better, more efficient, and better value proposition. In a nutshell, developing the spirit of enterprise and innovation makes you to interact with your world beyond what you have learned in class, with the sole aim of creating value and making a huge difference. When I finished my secondary school several decades ago, I did not have the opportunity like you to have a ceremony like this. And I guess I'm speaking for the chairman and a few of us in this hall. But let me share with you a story to bring to focus the importance of the spirit of enterprise and innovation, and how it transforms or can transform what I call an average student into an exceptional person in the world, at the workplace. Now, the story I'm going to share with you is a real life story, but I will refrain from using the person's real name since I don't have the authorization to do so. You know, in the educational section, you have to get consent, you have to sign many things before you use. So for this purpose, I'm going to just say the name of this person is Bola. Bola graduated about 16 years ago as an average student. Had been part of the junior achievement company formation while she was in senior secondary school. So roughly between age 14 and 16. And this company formation program helped her to understand, to think, and to start a company as a senior student. Now, of course, that company did not go too far, but of course, she learned a lot of things. Those skills that I have alluded to prior. After that, for her, it was just fun. You know, like the things you do while you are in school. Nothing dramatic. But that was where the seed of entrepreneurship was sown. Of course, she did to her A-levels, graduated with BSc Computing and MA in Advertising and Marketing. But her true passion was in the creative sector. Now, whatever you have learned, whatever crossroads you have taken, every single journey is a layer onto where you are ultimately going to find yourself. And so I see people that study economics, mathematics, and I find them in arts. Every single one, there is a purpose, there is a reason. But once you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you will be able to combine all to be who you are. I started my career as a mechanical engineer, but today, after several iterations, look at where I am today. Today, this same Bola has transitioned over many things, and I'm trying to cut the story short. She's now a mid-level manager in an oil and gas company. But she also runs a creative company. This is where her heart lies. Using her computer experience, she digitized all the processes from supplies to creation to inventory to payment systems and all of that. And all of these are like 98% of it are being done online. Yet, it has no bearing with the kind of business she created between the age of 14 and 16. But that entrepreneurial seed that was germinated several years after. Even at work, as a mid-level manager, that entrepreneurial makes her to question procedures, questions things that are not efficient, makes her to look and say there will be or there should be a better way of doing these things. That's what the spirit of enterprise gives you. Innovation, when it's layered on top of it, then says, I should be able to do something better or to provide a better solution. So the combination of the two makes you a differentiating factor in the workplace. That is why I am charging you today. And it makes a huge difference when you journey through life. No matter what you choose to become, no matter the direction, the wind will blow you. Know that skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, communications, collaboration, resilience, perseverance, adaptability, and flexibility will be your cross-cutting skills that will differentiate you when you get out there. I know that you have been prepared in many ways to really go to the world and conquer. Not just academically, but in terms of character. As I sat down here and I watched, and I saw boys are managing this event, irrespective of whether they are in JS or in their SS. It gives me hope that Nigeria can truly be better. And I'm sure, Professor Alos, you must feel like a very proud great-grandfather, because today you are seeing the fruits of that seed which you sowed. By the way, Professor Alos he has what I call that enterprise spirit. In fact, sometimes we often wonder where he got his strength from. The EDC, which I pioneered, he was one of the people that, I won't say deceived me, but collaborated with me to be able to make sure that we brought it to bear. And today, I have also left it for other people with enterprise spirit to run along. And yesterday, as the current director tweeted, put a word on LinkedIn, I sent a note to her. And I said, this is my colleague in whom I am well pleased. That is what the enterprise spirit does to you. That is what innovation does to you. Even when there is no door, you will create one by yourself because you have the tools to be able to make it happen. As I conclude, let me remind you that you have been given wings to fly, the tools to navigate your flight path, and the inspiration to fly. So, soar like an eagle that you are. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you very much, sir. And to do us the honors of presenting this award of appreciation to our guest speaker for the day. Thank you very much. A round of applause once again. So the next segment will be the award of prizes to the boys who have made their mark in senior school.
All right. Now we move to senior school. SS1. Okay, I would like to invite the Vice Principal, Senior School, Mr. Abbott, to please come forward for the presentation of awards. Round of applause for him, please. SS1, the third best student overall. The award goes to Hanonu Chidubem. Second best student overall for SS1, Temitope Fashedemi. The best student overall is actually unavoidably absent, but the father is there to take the award on his behalf. That's the person of Mr. Odease. The award goes to Edosa Odease, best student overall, SS1. Best behaved student in SS1, Chukwu Chimebuka. Sportsman's award goes to Ovie Akemu. All right, we move to SS2. The third best student overall for SS2, the award goes to Modupe Olua Ojo.
J-Ray, the catalyst.
There's a common saying that show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. The best student overall in SS2 is actually a mentee of the best graduating student of the set, and is no other person but Oluwaseun Jeboda. He follows Oguneme back to back, and you can see it in what is happening right here. Congratulations, Oluwaseun. Sorry, pardon me. The second best student overall in SS2, the award goes to Izuchukwu Derek Agbi. Now the best student overall for SS2, Oluwaseun Jeboda. The best behaved student in SS2, Modupe Olua Ojo. The Sportsman Award for SS2 goes to Oluwatimileyin Oni. I think that runs in the family. The last set before this particular set, the award went to the elder brother of Oni, Oluwatimileyin. Now the best sportsman award goes to Oni Oluwatimileyin. It's a family thing.
Abide by the school's rules and regulations, right? Who question things, boys who are not afraid to be boys in an all-boys school, right? Okay, so very well. First, I would like to announce the winner for the dedicated service to school. Please, a round of applause to the outgoing senior prefect, Olisanenye Xavier Uduje. Olisanenye Xavier Uduje. Next, the best behaved student for the set. A round of applause for Kenechukwu Akupwe. The next person I'm about to mention has won laurels for the school in the sporting department. The best sportsman for the set.
I don't check my energy, I don't get time for no enemy. To reap people to me. Nothing with person never see, I'm nothing with person never see. Forget it, I say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herbert Chiku. Oh, okay. I mentioned both awards in quick successions. Okay. Okay. I've been asked to separate it because they are two different. So we've had the award presented for overall best student. Now, the award for the valedictorian for this year's graduation. Thank you very much, Mr. Herbert Chukwu, for helping out with that. And very quickly, I would like to move to the next item, which is the address by the outgoing senior prefect. A round of applause for Olisamene Xavier Uduje.
Good afternoon, the chairman of this occasion, our distinguished guest speaker, members of the IEF Board of Trustees, our beloved principal, other members of the Management Council, parents, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Olisa Oduje, and once again, I'm the senior prefect of the class of 2025. When I was told I had to give a speech, honestly, I was unsure of myself at first. So I fell back on 3 plans. Plan A was YouTube. Searching all the titles, they were a bit crazy, but there was one that stood out to me. This speech made the whole auditorium cry. But today, I have no plans of making you cry today. Plan B was a friend I never expected to have, but the one that saved me from a lifetime of homework and unanswered questions. Can you guys guess? ChatGPT, yeah. But after my first prompt, I quickly realized why ChatGPT isn't used for speeches. I could already see myself ending this speech with, tailor this speech to your own needs, or would you like to send this as a message? So finally, at the start of this session, I had the privilege of meeting the incoming JS1 students. I remember the mix of naivety and excitement on their faces. Some were saying sir for the first time in their oversized blazers and poorly knotted ties, but they were still adjusting to the school culture. I saw many parents, especially moms, holding tightly onto their kids, reluctant to let go. I had a few conversations with them, just trying to calm their nerves and reassure them that they brought their kids to the right place. And then, in that moment, it made me realize we never walk this journey alone. We had our parents from day one, supporting us, guiding us, and cheering us on. And in our own way, we were holding on to them too. So I want to take a moment to thank all the parents in this building, and especially my own parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ernest Uduje. Our teachers were also there on that day, committing to help them grow, not just academically, but as young men. As the day went on, there was one mom, I'm sorry moms, I've called you a lot, who never really left. And I had a conversation with her, and she asked me a question I didn't expect. How would you say your time in Whitesands was, or has been? And in that moment, it felt like I stepped back into a time machine, straight back to JS1, where everything was fresh and exciting. The friendships were new, the subjects, and the new routines. and everything was just so beautiful. And yes, let's not forget how many classes were mysteriously paused for football. Mr. Oscar, a proud Chelsea fan, was the pioneer of this movement. And for Arsenal fans like me, business studies class would always feel like enemy territory. But to explain it all, I'll borrow a verse from the Bible. To everything there's a season, and for every purpose under heaven. Now, Arsenal is in a much, much better place. And Mr. Oscar knows he can't talk football with me like he used to. Meanwhile, in our own way, we were changing. The world outside was also changing. COVID-19 was silently brewing, and soon it reached the gate of Whitesands. A normal Whitesands life came to a sudden halt, and we moved from packed classrooms to online lessons. And honestly, I never thought online school would happen. I thought it would just be, I imagined it as a faraway land where I just sleep all day and prank teachers. And yes, it did start exactly like that. We watched endless YouTube videos, played games while classes were going on, and pulled the classic Alt F4 prank on teachers. For anyone who doesn't know what the Alt F4 prank is, it's a command where the teacher's laptop will completely go off. And in doing that, we'll give ourselves extra 20 minutes of class-free time. But soon, we adapted, we learned, we laughed, and as unexpectedly as it began, online school came to an end. I vividly remember Mr. Ochibili saying, "I know half of you are not listening to my class, and it's okay. Just know your exams are coming and you're writing it physically." We all laughed heartily behind our screens, thinking he was joking. But then, exams came, and it was physical. We were in our masks, socially distanced, and to say the least, that exam was the most humbling experience of my life. By then, we were in GSS 3, with just 1 year left in junior school. We were on top of the world, untouchable, and with nothing holding us back. That final year was something special. We ran around the school like we owned it, playing games like 4 posts in gazebo and first to class, running like it was a 100-meter final. That kind of joy, the kind that lives in small, silly moments, was what made Whitesands feel like home. Now, while I'm here, I'd like to take a moment to publicly apologize to Mr. Paul, the receptionist. Sir, we are truly sorry for using your desk as a pivot point every time you ran up and down the stairs. It was never ever personal. We just thought to give us the right kind of angle to get up and down the stairs. So we thank you for your patience, and honestly, you deserve a promotion for what you put up with. Then came senior school. Everything changed. Senior school had its own different air entirely, new teachers, a new block, and a new sense of freedom that came with age. Suddenly, when your tie wasn't just an everyday rule, it felt like a badge of maturity. You got to choose your own subjects, and that freedom also came with its own real responsibility. You had to stand by the choices or be wise enough to admit when you had made the wrong one. And we made mistakes. We failed a few times, but that was all part of the growing process. Every setback became a lesson. Every challenge helped us understand ourselves a little bit more. And it also brought its own fair share of surprises and shocks. The first was how seamlessly we went from being a full class to a half class. One moment, the room was full, and the next, it felt like everyone had gone on to their own electives, doing their own thing. Next was the staff room, the scariest place in the entire senior school. It felt like the teachers guarded the door with their lives, and honestly, I wouldn't blame them. Imagine having a class where the students make it impossible to teach, and you have one student who has made it their prime purpose to make sure that he can't teach. And the next thing, he's knocking on that door, asking you for 3 marks, extra 3 marks. I still remember my first time stepping in. I prepared for it like it was an interview. Tucked in my shirt, shoes tied, hair combed, and I think I sprayed a bit of perfume. I took a deep breath in, looked through that glass door, and walked in. I didn't even finish my first words before Mr. John Eno, in the politest way possible, said, "Please, could you get out?" I couldn't believe it. It turns out I forgot to knock. But eventually, we learned the rules. But at that moment, it just felt like a scene from the movie. The classes themselves were amazing, and the teachers did their best to make every lesson memorable. Speaking of teachers, Whitesands truly has one of the best teaching staff you can find. What made them special wasn't just their knowledge of the subject, but their ability to connect with us as real people. They understand the pressures we face, the jokes we laughed at, and even the struggles we tried to hide. And in the end, what made them stand out was not just that they taught well, but that they were also very relatable. So here, I need the graduating class of 2025 to finish these phrases. You know you're about to have a good day when Mr. Ganu stops you and asks you, why are you flying your shirt? Are you a? Or when Mr. Julius asks us not to be sheep, but to be. Or when, in classic Mr. Ganu, after he opens the door, who opened the door? And finally, you know your day is, I can't even explain, when you've packed your sportswear on Wednesday in SS2, and Mr. Ayamu walks into the class and pulls out the classic paper in hand. If your name is on this list, once the bell for sports rings, please find your way to my office. And we did find his way to his office a lot of times. I also cannot forget the sports department. Honestly, I came to Whitesands because of that pitch behind me. And that pitch never disappointed. For 6 years, it was more than just grass and goalposts. It was where friendships were built, rivalries were born, and where dreams felt real. Those afternoons under the scorching sun, chasing every ball like our lives depended on it, taught us lessons that went beyond football. So to Coach Aluma, Coach Ignatius, and Coach Roland, thank you. You weren't just coaches, you were our mentors. Then, there was prefectship. From day one at Whitesands, we all knew what it meant to wear that badge and the prefect. Don't disappoint me. So, serving in that role and watching my classmates take up leadership positions was one of the proudest moments of my life. Acting senior prefect in the building, I say enjoy the role and responsibilities that come with it. I've seen you guys in action, and I trust your ability to take. If there's one thing Whitesands taught us beyond academics, it's belief. Belief in ourselves, believe in others, and most importantly, believe in the Almighty God, who is bigger than us all. Because the truth is, life here wasn't always smooth, but each time, belief pulled us through. I know you guys are very conversant with this name, but my friend Obuneme, who once scored a 400% in a continuous assessment, showed that focus and consistency can make the impossible possible. And I felt it personally when I finally won the 3,000 meters race after failing to win it twice in a row. Even though I had people who doubted me, like Ayobami Aoko and Tobiloba Eleshinla. Two failures could have been the end, but belief turned the story around. And that's what belief does. It pushes you past your limits and reminds you that setbacks are not full stops, but just commas in your story. So, to the class of 2025, we made it and we did it. Over 22,464 seconds in this school. We had 9,360 classes, 1,200 lunches, 960 morning assemblies, 36 continuous assessments, 18 exams, 18 school terms, 6 first days of school, 6 years of this school, 3 as juniors and 3 as seniors. And one graduation ceremony later. And as we step out of these walls and into the world, let's go with courage, with faith, and with belief. Doc and Autumn, into the deep, guys. Thank you very much.
The recipient of this award is none else but Nolly Fimba, the best graduating mathematics students. This year, the best graduating science student also happens to be the best graduating economic student. The winner of both awards is Obuneme Maduboko. Thank you very much, Mrs. Obeta. To present the next award, which is the Coding Award, I'd like to call on Felix Okolo of class 2016. He was the senior prefect of his set. He's a deputy manager at Standard Chartered Bank. The award for coding goes to Adejuwon Kuju. All right. The next award is the Atto Prize for the best graduating French students. This award goes to Ifeanyi Chukwu Ajayi. I would like to call on Anthony Azekwo of class 2016, a renowned digital artist. He sponsors the visual arts competition. Second place finish in the visual arts competition goes to second place goes to Ugochukwu Amilo. Wonderful. Small but mighty. A round of applause for him. The winner of the visual art competition is Jaden Young Harry. I'd like to crave the indulgence of Anthony Azekwo to please help to present the Vigo Prize for the best graduating sportsman. And this award goes to Tomiwa Oduola. The next is the inauguration of the graduates into the Old Boys Association, and that will also be taken by Anthony Azekwo. The graduation class should please rise.
Okay, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, insert your name here, having completed my secondary school career at the Whitesands School, wish to be admitted into the Whitesands School Old Boys Association. I solemnly pledge to uphold at all times the values of the association, to love and serve my family, nation and alma mater, to be an exemplary leader and subject, to always live honestly and within my means, to always strive to improve so as to serve God and mankind better. I further pledge to devote time and resources towards the development of Whitesands School and the Old Boys Association. So help me God. Congratulations.
London.
Your seats. Thank you very much, Anthony Azepo. Yes, so wondering what's happening. In Whitesands School, normally we usually have the class council members who help the TIC, the teacher in charge, in the day-to-day running of the class activities across the respective classes that we have. So every class has a class council team. Usually they are elected into those positions by their fellow classmates. So that would comprise of the class captain, the assistant class captain, and in some cases, you get 7 of them, 5 other members who would form the class council. So they get to deliberate with the TICs on ways to move the class forward. So quickly, yes, class council members from the graduating class, quickly. A round of applause for them. Yes, while they're gathering around the cake, I think we have more room to the right. We thank God for today. The weather has been wonderful. I know the chairman can now finally breathe a sigh of relief. The last thing you want is to have a rainy day on a day like this. The weather is awesome. And last week, Friday, we also had an amazing weather where we had the dinner. All right. And parents who were here would attest to the fact that we had a swell time. Okay. So, just to be clear, so they can hear you, so you won't say impose it on you. So yes, a round of applause once again for the class council members. So let me come to this side. I'm sure we're ready to help them carry out that activity. We've had enough time for persons who have probably had to go use ChatGPT just to clarify a few things. Okay, so we'll spell the word graduates and then they will call the cake. Are you guys ready? Some persons up close hold the knife while the others can extend their hands. Okay, can we give them the first letter? Let's help them with and then followed by top it with, just add another, and give it another letter. A. Okay, thank you very much, class of 2025.
Distinguished guest speaker, the chairman of this occasion, members of the high table, parents, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today on behalf of the graduating class. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives, one that would not have been possible without the help, support, and guidance of many remarkable individuals. First, we offer our heartfelt gratitude to God Almighty for the strength, wisdom, and grace that brought us this far. Truly, without Him, none of this would be possible. To our parents and guardians, your sacrifices, prayers, love, and encouragement have been the foundation on which our success stands. Thank you for believing in us, even when we doubted ourselves. To our dearly beloved teachers, we are grateful for your dedication, your patience, and your passion for imparting knowledge. You didn't just teach us subjects, you taught us how to think, how to grow, and how to be better human beings. We carry your lessons with us into the world ahead. To the non-teaching staff, your behind-the-scenes work ensured we had a clean, safe, and supportive environment to learn and thrive. Thank you for everything. To our guests, dignitaries, and all who came to celebrate with us today, your presence has made this occasion more memorable and meaningful. Thank you for honoring us with your time. To the class of 2025, thank you for the laughter, the shared memories, the challenges we faced together, and the support we gave each other along the way. We leave here not just with certificates, but with bonds that will last a lifetime. As we go our separate ways, some to purpose that drives us forward. Once again, I say thank you to everyone, and may God Almighty bless us all. Amen.
And like I said earlier, we're gradually closing the curtains on this historic moment. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of us in this hall, the maintenance team who have been working at the background just to ensure that our sound quality is consistent all through. Of course, those who have also been working behind the scene, the chairman and the parents who've thrown their weight behind him, thank you very much. And of course, to our ever supportive parents, I call them the heroes without capes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May the good Lord continue to reward our efforts. And of course, our friends. I see a lot of familiar faces here. Some persons are ex-students. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. To our ever-capable staff. And just to mention, we finally told you our secret. We have at least 2 soothsayers in Whitesands School. That's as much. Whether we make it a curriculum or a subject in Whitesands is another case. We'll look into that. And of course, to the graduating class, thank you for the experiences. Thank you for being a part of our success story. Not to forget the members of the high table and all our special invited guests, the board of Ikota Education Foundation, the Board of Trustees. Thank you very, very much for gracing this occasion. And of course, to all the service providers, the camera personnel. I can see sometimes they fly the drones above to cool us down, right? Anyways, just to mention but a few. And yes, to Wavecrest Hospitality and Management. Larry Alini, thank you very much for holding the mic. And I am Nicholas Izanya. It's been a pleasure handling this event. Actually, I do MC professionally for a living. Thank you very much for being a part of this story. It's yet again the 24th graduation ceremony here at Whitesands School for the class of 2025. Before we take the school's 25th anniversary prayer, I'd like to indulge us to give a round of applause one more time to our graduating class. To help us with that, I'd like to invite up on stage the current or the acting senior prefect, Chukwuebuka Ubenze. He'll be helping us with the 25th anniversary prayer. If you turn to the last page of your program, the prayer has been affixed there. So I'd like to ask that we turn to the last page of the program for today. And I'd also have to ask that we stand as we take the 25th anniversary prayer for Whitesands School.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Most Holy Trinity, we thank you for these 25 years of your grace upon Whitesands School. And we humbly ask for pardon for the times we have not corresponded faithfully to your grace. Guide our preparations for this celebration and fill us with gratitude for the blessings you have bestowed. Help us grow in faith, love, wisdom, fortitude, and unity as we look to the future. Bless our students, staff, and parents, and make us embrace our mission rooted in your love. Through the intercession of Our Lady, may Whitesands continue to flourish for the greater glory of your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
So while we're still standing, we'll quickly take the school anthem. The lyrics of the school anthem can also be found at the back page of your program. I dare say. After the students, the members of staff, the teaching staff, Whitesands School will join the students. And afterwards, we'll have the management member of Whitesands School and our special invited guests, the members of the board, the trustees, IEF, and IEF Executive Council.
Thank you.